Why hello there my wonderful people on the internet. How you doing today? In this video we're going to create a 3-page layout design inspired by Spotify. So we're going to take a look at a lot of cool things that we can do in Figma. We're going to cover things like prototyping, aligning different things, and creating logos. And we can create logos in Figma? Yes, we can, and I'm going to show you how. And also, this video is actually a collaboration with a YouTube channel called Web Dev Simplified. And what he's going to do is he's actually going to take this website that we're going to design, and he's going to do a tutorial on building it out in HTML and CSS. So I'm going to do the design part, and after I do that, I highly recommend you go checking out the actual tutorial on building this website out on his channel. So I'm going to leave a box, a card thing up here or something, or in the description. And yeah, just go leave a comment on his video, send him some love, and yeah, just check him out. I think he's a really cool guy. And always remember, if you want to become more creative, make sure to hit that bell, and let's get going. Alright, so let's get going. I have Figma opened up here. It's just an empty project. And the first thing I always do is I'm just going to the frame tool up here. I'm gonna click on this and just click somewhere here on the screen. And it's gonna generate us a frame, which can be like one page of our website. So if I want this to be full HD, I can modify all the properties up here. So we have the X and Y, which is the position of the frame. I usually put these to 0. This is a small reset that we can do. And for the width, to go full HD, I'm gonna do 1920 by 1080 because that's 1080p. Good. Now, if I hold space, I can also kind of drag this around. And if I hold Control and scroll, I can zoom out and in. Wow, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna rename this, and I'm gonna call this landing page. So this is the first page that our users are gonna see. Okay, so what I want for this music app? Well, who makes music? This is how my thought process was going on with this. Who likes music? Well, people like music. Who makes the music? People make music. So I kind of felt obligated to have a person on my landing page. And I imagined that I need to have a person that just loves and enjoys music and has like a cool expression on their face. So that's what I wanted to kind of include here on the landing page. So this person will use our service, and this is the feeling that we can provide to them of like joy and happiness. So I really wanted to not include illustrations or anything like that. So I found this picture, I kind of photoshopped. I'm gonna include this in the link in the description as well, so you can download it and follow along easy. But as you can see, really cool picture. Again, I photoshopped it because it had a background and everything, but really expressive, and she's just enjoying herself. And she has headphones, which is a big plus because hey, it's a music app. All right, so I have this. Now the problem here is that the contrast is kind of pretty hard with this white. So I like to change this and go to a darker color. So what you can do is you can actually change the color on the frame. So on this big thing. So you don't need to drag like a box like so and put it in the background. Actually like this. And it's not going in there. Okay, so below like that. You don't need to do that. You can just grab the frame here and you can change the background color here. And I found one that worked pretty well. It's 2F303A. So hit enter. There we go. So it's kind of a grayish, it has maybe a tint of blue, but it's really grayish and it looks pretty cool. Okay, so we have our girl here enjoying the music. Now the second thing I want to kind of think about is what do I want in the titles. I want a big title here and a small description and maybe a call to action button that's going to tell the user what to do. All right, so what I want in the title. Well, since I have this image, I can kind of think about a title from this image. So what is she doing here? It's like she's feeling the music. So that can be a good title. So I'm gonna grab the T tool here, the T tool. It doesn't make you a T, it just makes you text, unfortunately. But hopefully they fix this in the future update. And we can call feel the music here. Now this is gonna be super small, but just write out feel the music, and I can drag and just copy all of this, and we can just change the color to white. So let's go all the way to white. It's still super small, so let's kind of increase the font of this. Let's go something like 72. So there we go. That looks better. And we are also gonna change the font in a bit, so don't worry. Good, so we have that, and let's do a subtitle here. And for this, I'm gonna do something like stream over 20,000. Is that correct? 1,000 songs with one click. All right, now this is extremely huge. It doesn't look that good. So I'm gonna just decrease the font size. If I click on it, we can go here to 36, and that should look way better. Good, so we have that as well. Now, another thing we need is a call to action button. And we're gonna position everything here nicely in just a bit. So for that, I'll just do a join now. We can grab the rectangle tool and just drag out a shape like so. And we can change the color. Now, for me, I kind of thought about this. I didn't really overthink the colors. I kind of just wanted a colorful and vibrant look to this website. So we have the muted background, and I want everything that I want to stick out to be really colorful. So in this case, the join now button. I click this blue one, which, let me just get the color here, is gonna be 176.2A7. And we have this really cool bluish color. And what we can do is just drag a text on top of this. And what I can also do, if we zoom in here, I can just grab the grab tool, and if we select the text here, somewhere here, and well, we didn't write anything, so it's gone. So let's do that again. I'll just drag it out randomly like so. I'm gonna say join now, and let's make this uppercase. And what we can do is we can just choose white. Let's also make the font size smaller, something like 24. Maybe that's a bit, yeah, that's okay. And what we can do is we can grab the join now, and we can just position it on top like so. And how can I center this straight in the middle? Well, we have the tools down here, and these can align everything horizontally. So if I hit center here, it's gonna align horizontally, and these can apply vertically. So I'm gonna do middle, and boom, it's perfectly centered. Really cool, nice. So let's change the font size of this. I use Poppins for this. I really like it. I think it fits really well with this one. And let's just change everything to Poppins. There we go. And actually, I'm going to drag this a bit out so it's in one line. And we're going to position these in a bit as well. So I'm going to grab the join now here. Going to add Poppins as well. Good. And one thing I want to do is I really don't want these to be separate. So what I can do is I can just grab the join now and the box, and I can hit Control G, and it's gonna group everything up here, and I can just rename this to button, just to keep everything a bit more organized. And what I can also do is if I open up here, I can add a bit of a rounded corner to this. So I can go up to something like 5. Let's see how that looks. So it's not that super flat. Actually, let's go with 10. Rectangle, we're gonna scroll up to 10. Perfect. Let's make this a bit wider, like so. Yeah, a bit taller. You can play with this all day. Good, nice. So how do we align everything in here? Well, we can use a super cool tool that if we go on the landing page, so on the frame, we have the layout grid here. So if we click plus on this one, it's gonna generate this grid. Now it's super crazy complex and doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna click on this one, and this icon here, we can go to columns, and we can just put 12 here. And that's gonna give us 12 columns that we can easily align things to. and it's hardly visible, so I can raise it up to something like 50%, and there we go. Maybe that's too much, 30%. Good. So right now I can align these however my heart contents. So let's do it here. Just bring it to this box here. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th box. I'm just gonna align everything to this 5th box. Nice. Now this goes out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to 6 actually. There we go. So everything is in one frame. Perfect. And let's put the lady all the way at the start of this one, like so. Let's move her down so she's still in frame, and that should be okay. So now when we do our nav links, we can just easily position everything in these boxes. So let's temporarily just turn this off, like so. And we can also align this kind of in the center. So if we grab everything here, holding Shift, we can just bring this down till it's centered, like so. Perfect. And I kind of want to have a bit of space in between the join now. So this, usually I leave spaces in between the texts so the button pops out more. So I would usually bring these up a bit, something like that, and then I'd have a bit more space with the button. Good. And now we can center everything. So I'm gonna bring it till we have this horizontal line, and yeah, that should look okay. Perfect. Nice. So let's also do 2 navigation buttons here. Grab the text, drag, doesn't matter how we drag for now, just drag, and we're gonna say discover. We're gonna change this to white, like so, and we are gonna make this smaller. Let's do something like 18. We might modify this if it's too small. Let's do 24. Yeah, that looks a bit more visible. Okay, and we can, to just grab another copy of this, we can just hold Alt and drag, and then that's gonna just create a duplicate here for us. But make sure you keep holding Alt, because I believe if you let go before your mouse, then it's not gonna work. So make sure to hold Alt, let go of the click, and then you can duplicate something. Perfect. Now I don't want this big box to be here. I kind of want it wrapped over the text. So another cool thing you can do is just go through to the 3 dots here, and if we click, we can just click this width tool, and look at that, it's gonna auto resize to our text, and then we can just go back to fixed. So just click this once and jump back, and it's gonna help us align things very easily. Okay, let's go back on the frame tool, hit the column, and let's align this. So I kind of want these at the end here. I'm gonna drag this discover here, and the other discover, let's rename this. This is gonna be called join. All right, so since I'm aligning everything at the start here, then I'm gonna do the rest with the other designs as well. So at the start here, and these are gonna be at the start as well. Perfect, so we got discover and join. Great. Let's get going with the logo. So we can just hit the frame tool. I'm gonna hit here, and that's gonna create us a 100 by 100 frame, which is fine, don't worry. And we're gonna grab the circle tool here, and I'm gonna drag out a, let's go 60 by 60. I think that's big enough. There we go, let go. And what I thought for this is I kind of want to have a waveform, so a sound waveform kind of a logo here. And for that, I'm gonna just get rid of this fill, and we're gonna add a stroke. I'm gonna increase the stroke to 3 pixels. We're gonna get rid of this fill, so we're left with this circle, and I kind of want to make this colorful. So rather than picking random colors, I'm kind of just gonna use everything I have up here. And actually, we're gonna use another pinkish color in this design. So I'm gonna use this blue one and that pinkish that we're gonna use on the other pages. So let's add a linear gradient to this. I'm gonna hit the circle tool, and let's go to stroke here. And we are gonna go from solid to linear. Perfect. And we can actually just hit the blue here. Wow, nice. And we can go to this one down here. Now by default, it's opacity 0. So we need to bring it up to 100, and we can change the color to Let me make sure I use the same pink. So we are consistent here across all. And that color is going to be B, C, 3, A, 8, and 0. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Good. So we have the outline of our logo. Now let's do the small waveforms. So for that, I'm just going to grab the line tool here. I'm going to just drag out a small line. There we go. Not too big, not too small. Click on it. I'm going to increase this 3 pixels as well, the stroke size, just so I'm consistent with everything that I have here. So this is 3, this is 3. And I kind of don't want to have this super straight edges here. So we can change that if we hit these 3 buttons down here, and we can change the cap to round. Look at that. Beautiful. Very nice. Let's also just copy this. I'm going to hold Alt and drag. There we go. We have 2. We can drag again, and it's selecting this big image. So let me just lock this layer here so we don't accidentally select this one. So I can just grab it like that, drag it out, and just drag this up like so. Now don't worry if these are not aligned. We're gonna fix this in just a bit. Let's drag it one more time. This is gonna be even bigger. Boom. One more. And I'm gonna copy the smaller one now. And we're gonna go back all the way to the smallest. And one more, just so we are consistent. So we have 2 small ones, 1 bigger one, 2 biggest ones, and then we're just going backwards. Nice. Let's grab all of these, move them right in the middle. Now these are not in the middle, Ed. Well, don't worry, Figma is here to save us. We can just go up here, and if we select everything, so make sure everything is selected, we can click on the Align Vertical Centers, and waba, boom, look at that. Everything is perfectly aligned. Nice. So we can just drag this and center everything like so. And what we can do is, rather than adding a linear gradient to all of these, I'm gonna leave them like so. And I'm just gonna grab them and just group them up. So I'm gonna group all the lines up like so. Okay? Now, how do we add a linear gradient to all of these? Well, watch this. We can grab the rectangle tool. I'm just gonna drag a rectangle across these. I'm gonna move them kind of like across all of these. Let me bring down the opacity a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just bring it across all of these, okay? Just like that. Now, I'm gonna bring back the opacity to 100, and I'm just gonna add the linear gradient to this box. Linear, and we can use the same colors. I'm gonna do the blue, and for this one, I'm gonna do the pink one. Good. And now what I can do is, with this rectangle, I'm gonna leave it above here, and if I select the lines, so the lines, I can use them as a mask. So all you need to have here is the box on top with the gradient, and you have the lines as a group here, and just grab the lines and hit mask. And look at that. Everything just works like magic. So we can just grab all of this with Shift, and we can just group them up again, and we can name this logo. Bada bing, bada boom. We created a logo. We can just drag this up here, let go, and we can also add a title here that we're gonna call Sound Wave. So let's go to text, drag out here. We're gonna call this Sound Wave, like so. Perfect. Let's make this bigger. Let's do 30 pixels. We're gonna change the color to white. Great. Let's also make sure we align everything. We can delete this frame. We don't need it anymore. The one that we use for a logo, we can just turn this back on. And I can just kind of drag this, position this, grab both of them, and drag it and align it to the second one again. Beautiful. And we can also just kind of move this up so it's in the same line as this one. As you can see, we have that line, just to make sure it's in the same line, because it's not going to look that cool it's kind of, yeah, we need to have everything centered here. It's just gonna make our design look way better. Good, we can turn this off. And what I'm missing here is this kind of feels a bit empty to me. And I kind of want to bring these colors up in this landing page. So what I can do is, well, since her face is like, oh, I'm enjoying the music so much, I want to add kind of a like background bubbles that are not super visible, but they're there. That's gonna bring out the color of the music. That made no sense. I apologize. But what I kind of want to do is just add a bit of color to this. So what I can do is I'm going to grab the ellipse tool, just grab and just drag out some circles here. I'm going to leave one here. I'm going to add the pinkish color that we used and just bring down the opacity to something like 10%, like so. And we can just drag this down so it's in the background, so below the lady. And look at that, we have that small circle there. Let's add another one. We can just copy this one, drag it up here, make it smaller a bit, hold shift, like so, drag it up here. Let's add the blue for this one, change it to 10%, and let's add another one let's do it in the corner here. Just Alt Tab, drag, just make it bigger, and just kind of position it there in the corner. So there we go. We finished our landing page. We added a bit of more color. We added a bit of a more personality to this landing page. Nice. All right. Hope you're ready. Let's get going with the second one. So for the second page, what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much do the same thing. We're going to grab the frame tool, click, and we're going to do 1920 by 1080. So we're going to do the same thing, hit enter. It's going to create us a frame. I'm going to call this feature. And what I want to have here is kind of a reason why people would want to sign up to our service. So I want to have album covers, different categories of music that they can see. And hey, if they might be interested in, then they can sign up. So here I kind of want to have a bit of a visual of the different music that you can find on the website. So let's add the color, the same color that we used up here. That's fine. Let's keep everything more consistent. There we go. And I provided a few images here that you can get. So I'm just going to copy them and paste them in here. And look at that. There we go. We have 4 images. And I kind of just position these like in a box, like so. All right. So we have 4 images in here. If yours are scattered around, you can just kind of grab them and position them together like so. They should be the same size, so everything is okay. Now the cool thing you can do is if you grab all the images here, you're gonna see that there's this pink thing here. So if you want to rearrange the items, you can just grab this pink thing and look at that. You can just let go and look at that. We can easily rearrange everything that we want. So I'm gonna bring these like so. Great. Let's drag these up here, kind of center them like so. Nice. Now don't worry, we're gonna superbly position this in just a bit. Let's add a title here, and for that I'm just gonna say discover new music. Discover new music. Let's grab everything, change this to white, and what I kind of want to have below here is just a few cards that shows us different kinds of music that we can find. So a charts, maybe albums, and more. So copy this, paste it in here, and let's create the card system. We're gonna grab the rectangle tool. We're gonna drag out a small little box here, let go, and to emphasize this, I kind of just want to grab the background image that we have here and just make it a bit darker. So let's go to the fill here, and the color I'm gonna use is gonna be 20027. As you can see, it's kind of the same color as this, just a bit darker. Let's zoom in here. And what I want to do is I just want to add these different images on top. Now this is going to go below. Actually, let's rename this. This is going to be charts. I'm going to place it. I'm going to bring down the rectangle, so it's going to be on top. I'm going to bring it up there. That's good. And I'm going to just add a text down here that's going to say charts. Charts. Ooh, Huge. Let's make it smaller. 24 pixels. Let's make this white. And we can also align everything. Remember, just here, hit center. There we go. Perfect. We can also take everything that we have here and just combine it. So we have the rectangle, we have the charts, and we have the text up here. So all of these three, we can control G, and we have a group. And this is going to be the charts card. And what we can do is we can actually just duplicate this. We can drag it. We can drag it again. Perfect. And we can just replace the images in these two. So where are you? Okay, so let's grab this one. Just gonna get rid of this, delete, drag the album up here. We need to make sure that this is gonna be in here. Okay, rename this albums. And this is gonna be the albums card. Good. Let's do the last one. Let's close these so we have more space going on here. This one is gonna be more card. Hit. We're gonna grab the microphone, delete it, and we're gonna grab this one and we're gonna just drag it in here so we can drag it on top. Perfect. Very nice. Let's rename this to more. Okay, we just made a small card system here. Nice. Let's actually make this a bit smaller, or we can just make this a bit larger. Oh, never mind, we don't want to do that because we're gonna extend the SVG here. So let's go in here and grab the rectangle. Let's make it a bit larger. And bring down the text a bit, just to make everything more spaced out. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. And we can do the same with these. Let's make sure to grab the rectangle, drag it out, and reposition everything nicely. Good. Let's go to the last one. Actually, it's the first one. Drag this out. Good. Let's drag this down. And this. Perfect. Very nice. And you know what? We can actually make these thicker a bit as well. I know. Can do this forever. You find yourself repositioning everything for 10 hours. Okay. Drag this out. Actually, let's just copy the same height and width from this. So this is going to be 136. So go on this one. 136. And the first one is going to be 136. Okay. Perfect. And let's position this as well. Make sure everything is centered. All right, Ed, move on, because I can work on this for 10 hours. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Good. Close everything up, and let's position these as well. What we can do is just grab all three, like so, and we can distribute everything tidy up right here. Boom. It's gonna center everything nicely. Very nice. We can also drag these here. And again, if you want to reposition, we can just drag like so. And we can switch between these, but I'm going to leave them like so. Charts, and let's rename the text. This is going to be albums. And this one is going to be more. Where are you at? Here you are. More. Beautiful. Good. And let's also add a small text here. Let's just drag out another one, and we're gonna just say beautiful things that people want to hear. By joining, you can benefit by listening to the latest albums released. How wonderful. We can grab everything here. Let's make this 30 pixels, make it a bit bigger. Good. And we can align everything to the right, to the left, not right. Click here, everything is aligned to the left. Very nice. Now, what I also want to have is, I kind of want these to kind of fit with this image here. Okay. So what I want to do is I kind of want to drag it till it arrives to this. Okay. So everything is gonna look better if everything is just well organized and it's the same height. What we can do is we can just align everything vertically. So hit the arrow here, distribute vertically. Oh, that's actually gonna mess things up here. So what we can do is we can grab these albums and we can just group them together. So they're one, like so. Good, we can just grab everything again and we can do distribute vertical spacing. Good, and this still doesn't look good because this takes up too much space, as you can see, because the box is way bigger than the actual text. So again, what I recommend you to do every time you work with this is just hit the auto resize to the width, and it's gonna make it the same size as the text. This one's okay. This one, again, see, as you can see, it's way bigger than it's supposed to be. So we can just do width, and that's actually gonna mess it up because we have it on 2 lines. Let's just bring this up a bit, like so. All right, grab this again. I'm gonna drag everything down here. Let's try it again, distribute vertical spacing, and there we go. We should have a pretty decent alignment of the text. And one thing I almost forgot, let's just make sure that everything is well organized in here. So let's go to the feature page again, and just make sure we add a grid to this. So let's go to layout grid, hit plus, we're gonna click here, we're gonna do columns 12, and we're gonna bring it to 50%. So let's just align this everything nicely. Again, just grab this, bring it to this line, like so. This is gonna be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. Okay, center it, and let's grab these as well, and make sure it's at the beginning of the 2nd line. There we go. And now we have a bit more harmony. Okay, so for the last page, I kind of either want to have something like a contact page, or actually, you know what, since this is a service, how about we give the people a chance to sign up? So let's create another frame, again 920 by 1080. This is going to be standard, and let's drag it up here, and this is going to be the sign up. Perfect. And let's use the same color again in the background. Click here. Very nice, and it's not working. Why didn't it work? There we go, I misclicked. Okay, the sign up. So I want to have the forum here where people can join, and for that, let's grab the rectangle tool and just drag out a box, like so. Very nice. Drag it up here, maybe a bit taller, like so. Now again, I can just use things from the previous design. So I can give it the background color. If I hit the I button, I can just sample this color, and look, we have a frame where we can put our input. Let's make this a bit wider, actually, like so. So we have a bit more space going on here. And let's also add let's do a bit of a rounded corner here. So let's drag this up here. Let's do something like 20. This is going to be a bit more super round. There we go. And in here, let's just create some forms. We can grab the text tool, we can drag, we can just say name. We can change the color to white. We can make this way smaller, something like 18 pixels. That's too small. 24. I still feel like it's too small. Should be okay. Okay, 24. Let's also make sure that we auto resize this with the width. And let's also add double dots here. It's colons, not double dots. Somebody called me out. It's like, Ed, double dots? What are you talking about? Oh my god. I just make up things while I go. Why do I have a space in here? Let's delete that. Okay, just name. And for the input, I'm just gonna drag out another one of these rectangles, like so. It's gonna be around 60 pixels. And let's change the color. Let's get rid of the fill. I'm gonna add a stroke. We're gonna get rid of the fill. And let's add this bluish color that we used previously. Perfect. And let's also add some border radius to this as well. Let's do 10. Okay, very cool. Let's make sure that this is aligned here. And let's make this bold or medium. Let's go with medium. Yeah, so it pops out a bit more. So this is going to be around 3 pixels. We can do 2. This is 1 right now. Let's do 2 pixels so it's a bit more visible. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm happy with this. We can just grab these two. If this is bothering you, you can always lock it so you can easily grab things. You can just bring this down. Let's do 25 distance, that's fine. And just name this email. And let's drag another time and we can create a password. Password. And drag this out. Very cool. And let's also do a sign up button. And you know what? I recommend you to cheat. So click on this, copy, and just paste it down here. There we go. We're cheating now. I'm gonna actually bring this in the center here and drag this out to match the size of the boxes. Very cool. There we go. We can just grab everything. We can do vertical spacing. There we go. And we can just grab everything and just kind of bring these up a bit maybe and give this button a bit more space. So I kind of want this to stick out a bit more. There we go. Look at that. We have our form ready to go. Let's also add a small title here to get people to sign up. I'm just gonna say join the fun. You cannot see that. Let's make this bigger. Let's go way big. There we go. And let's also add a bold to this. I want to emphasize. There we go. Join the fun. Very nice. Okay, what else do we need to do? Well, I kind of want to bring this out a bit. I don't like the way this looks. Let's make it white. All right, let's see how that looks. I'm going to center this with the box. Like so. Okay. And you know what? Let's change the last word here. We're going to make it bigger. Something like so. Join the fun. Maybe that's too big. I'm just trying to get really creative right now. Let's do 96 on this one. And let's make these smaller. Let's do these 72. Yeah, I'm just messing around. You can just select the text there. And let's add the pinkish color to this. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I like it. Drag this, make sure it's centered. Actually, we can just grab the tool here. The same we did with this. Just add the layout grid. And we can do the grid column. We can do the count to 12. And we can just increase this to 50%. And make sure we align everything properly. So bring it to this line. Again, this one is a bit messed up, so we need to do width. Let's go back to fixed. We can just easily stick that there. Very nice. Just around there is fine. We can just grab this box. This one is locked, so I'm gonna unlock it. Good. I'm gonna bring this right here to this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Bring it to the center. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Good. Let's also add a footer here. I'm going to disable this. And then we should be ready to go. Grab the sign up, disable this. And let's add the footer down here. I'm going to drag out a box. Like so. Make sure we put it in the sign up. Okay, should be around good. Let's drag this up here, drag this in here. I'm gonna sample the same color. Actually, should we do darker? I don't even know. Let's see if this color looks good. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Fits everything more well. You know what? We can actually bring these a bit up. There we go. A bit more space. Very nice. Let's do about us in here. About us. And we're gonna do a contact. Contact. Whoops. Make sure everything is set to white, because otherwise we cannot see, and that's not good. Very good. Let's also do a Twitter and a Facebook. Before I actually do this, let's make sure, nah, never mind, we're gonna do it after. I'm just gonna drag this out 2 more times. We're gonna do Twitter here and Facebook here. Facebook, perfect. And I actually have 2 icons for this. If you give me 1 second, I'm gonna drag these out. So just a simple Twitter icon and a simple Facebook icon. There's one. Twitter. Mr. Facebook, Mr. Zuckerberg is there as well. Good, very nice. Kind of drag this around like so, drag this around like so, and now we can just go back to the grid, turn the grid back on, and we can align these. I'm gonna do the second one, so it kind of aligns with this as well. Just drag the box to the second one, drag this in here, drag it down, and we're gonna do align it there. Same goes with this. Drag it in here, drag it in here, drag this down, make sure it's the same height. So I'm gonna drag it until it clicks, and there we go. That's one. Maybe we can make it a bit taller. Yeah, I kind of want to actually make it the same height as our footer, so it's perfectly centered. So yeah, just drag it up here. If you cannot see it, we can actually turn this off a bit for now. So just drag this till it hits the footer, so it's perfectly centered. Okay, and we're gonna do the same with the other ones as well. So turn back the grid, just quickly go here and zoom in a bit because I'm blind. Drag this in here. And where do I want these? Let's do the last 2. So one's gonna be here and the Twitter is just gonna be here. Now we have 2 here, so I'm gonna align the Twitter logo here. I'm kind of just gonna bring this in the center of the logo, something like that. Okay, and take this as well, bring it in here, bring it in here, and just, actually I need to drag this more out because I have no other choice right now. Just at least make sure the logos match up and everything else. And if this sticks out a bit, it is what it is. Just make sure you can get it as close as possible. So something like that should be fine. Also again, make sure the size of this matches to the footer. So we're gonna bring this down like so. Okay, drag this up, drag this down. Make sure everything matches. Now again, I'm gonna just bring this out a bit like so, just so we can get the logo in there. Perfect, very nice. So let's turn off the grid, and there we go. Now what you can do is you can take everything in this and group it. And what WebDev Simplified is gonna do is he's gonna include it across all the pages. So you can just take all of these, group it up like so. And then with this group, we can call it nav, and we can just pretty much move it across all of our pages like so. Okay, there we go. Let's also make sure that we check out prototyping. That's a super cool feature that Figma has. So what I can do is I can click on this discover button, and maybe I want to go to this page. So on the discover button, I can go to prototype, and I can use something called the triggers here. So we can use something like on click, while hovering, while pressing, mouse enter. I'm gonna do on click right now because I want this to pretty much bring me to the second page. So we're gonna hit on click. Action is gonna be to whichever page I wanna go to. And in this case, I wanna go to the feature page. So there we go, hit the feature page, and we're gonna get this small line that's gonna show us where it's gonna go. And here, we're gonna have a few options. So the action is gonna be the page we're gonna visit. And the transition, we can pick different transitions. We can do dissolve, which is pretty much gonna just fade out the first page and bring us to the second one. We can also do something like move in or move out. So I'm gonna do move in or move out, I'm not sure. Let's do move in. There we go. And we can also choose the direction. So maybe I want the page to come down from the bottom to the top. We can pick a duration. I'm gonna do 800 for this. So this is in milliseconds. So 1000 is going to be 1 second. And we can choose also an easing function. I'm going to do ease in and out. Let's see if this works. I'm going to hit the play button up here, which is going to mean present. And by default, I think the sizes are going to be quite messed up here. So it's going to be super zoomed in. So I'm going to hit the, where's the thing? Yeah, just here. I'm going to do fit. So it's going to scale down to fit. There we go. And we can hit on the discover. And look at that. We're going to get this nice page transition up to the second page. Very nice. Let's close this up, hit escape, and we can close it in here. And what we can do is we can also transition to the join to the last page. So again, let's do trigger. I'm going to actually show you a different one. We can click the sign up, which is going to be the last page. Let's do a, let's try the push. Is this interesting? Okay, so this is just going to push it to the next page. Let's also add a different direction. I'm going to leave the default one. Let's see how this one looks. 800. I'm going to do ease in and out. Let's take a look. Click. I'm going to choose scale to fit again. And let's hit join. There you go. You can get cool different animations going. Now, what you want to do is a bit of a challenge for you, so this video doesn't take till tomorrow because the sun is already down. Let me close this. You can actually just copy this nav and just bring it down here, like so. I'm going to do it like really quickly, like so. And you can use it across all the pages. So when you're navigating, make sure to center these very nicely. And then when you're prototyping now, you can just click across all the pages. So you can go from each page to the next one. So join, we can go to discover, and as you can see, we have the cool transitions going on. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry if it lasted quite a bit, but yeah, hope you're enjoying this. Yeah, as you can see, you can barely see me anymore because it's getting super dark. But yeah, please drop a subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also make sure you head over to Web Dev Simplified and watch this website getting built out. So again, it's going to be in the description, and the card is probably going to pop up again. I'm not sure if I can do it the second time, but hey, it is what it is. All right, guys, thank you again so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.